Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for February 8th, 2020, with your host, Peacemaker2448 and Ramped Up Salon.
Hi.
We have an interesting set of news. That is,
what we're calling it?
That is mostly Nintendo related.
Oh, I mean, Nintendo's master console?
Apparently, these days. So yeah, although one of them, because apparently it got around and people decided to take the comment out of context. Somebody, one of the usual video game journalists, commented that Sora was probably not going to happen due to Disney, and people took that as a deconfirmation outright that Sora was not going to get into Smash, which is not true. Outside of the fact of, yeah, if Sora were to get into Smash, yes, Disney would have to be involved.
I mean, from what I was kind of seeing, I wouldn't even hold my breath on that one because I'm having a funny feeling that it would actually more fall on Nintendo first.
Yeah. Also, 1 second. All right, I'm back. But yeah, Disney would have to be involved in the negotiations on that one, and I don't know how well that would go.
I mean, though, technically, would they?
Yes, because they own part of the Kingdom Hearts rights.
But I think wouldn't also Sora fall in that weird gray zone? Because technically he's not a Disney creation, he's a Square creation.
Right. But Disney also partially owns the rights. Because they have a say in the franchise in of itself. So they would have to be a part of the conversation. To use Kingdom Hearts anything. More or less. Even if it's just Sora, Disney would still have to be called and given the okay, and have to have the okay. It's weird, I know, but it's kind of a Geno situation where, yeah, Geno was in a Mario game, but Square made the game. So Square has the rights to the original characters.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, though.
Yeah.
Because in that aspect, Geno is technically Square's creation, meaning that Square has to say, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Square is the primary on this.
Yeah. Which would make it more feasible. Because that would give them a fight to go against anyone trying to say otherwise, because it's their property.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, Sora might not be as far out as it seems.
Yeah, it just depends on
depending on how their setup is, Square might be the one to be able to pull the trigger on that one. It would be more of a case of, as far as Sora goes, nothing that related to anything pertaining to any of the Disney characters can't be in it.
Yeah.
Without Disney's okay. Which would probably make it pointless to add Sora.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you lose what makes Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
If Mickey doesn't get to show up, we have a problem. Or Donald and Goofy don't get to show up, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can speak of is I found out, like, when the last couple of years or so, is that Disney had official Sora and Riku characters at a Disney park for the premiere of Chain of Memories. Or the release of Chain of Memories on the GBA. That happened? That was a thing? There was a Sora and a Riku at a Disney park for a day, essentially.
But if it was for promotion for the game, Square might have okayed something like that, too.
Yeah. It's just weird that I'm like, that happened? That's legitimately a thing?
I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's never happened since. No matter how many games have come out, they've never done that again.
No matter how long they delayed 3.
Yeah. Speaking of things I've played, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Truthfully, outside of what's been streamed, that much. About the only thing is I have plucked around with Shield a little bit more, just trying to fill the decks.
Yeah, I'm mainly just doing raids at the moment.
I need to hop in while some of the raids are going on right now.
You are guaranteed chill mode Gmax toxicity at the moment. That's the major raid at the moment. But I got an Orbeetle and a shit. Fuck, what was the other one? I don't remember what the other Gmax was. I got 3 Gmaxes yesterday, so there's plenty of spread on the raids at the moment. I surprisingly have a lot. I got back to Tokyo Mirage Sessions after not playing the game since 2017, apparently, as my save file says. That's probably about when the game came out. And I'm now through chapter 2 of the game. So I'm like 10 hours in now, officially. It's nice and fun. It's a nice little Persona Light with the dumb gimmick of, hey, if you pop an enemy's weakness, all of your party members get to do follow-up attacks, depending on like what they can follow up with. So like if you start with an electric attack, if another party member has like electric sword, they follow up with a sword attack. And if someone has like a sword something, they can follow up with whatever that attack is. But it gets better because then you can eventually, and I'm about to the point where you can give your like out of your non-active party members the ability to follow up as well. And I believe you can eventually get it to multiply how many follow-up attacks a character can do. Because right now it's like 1 per party member, but you can do more. Like Game Explain has a video for the remaster that's on Switch. I think they had like a follow-up of like 24 or something off 1 attack, which is ridiculous. So I got back into that. I got back to the Octopath Traveler. I've got Tressa, so I have almost a full party now. I started with Primrose, I picked up Ulbrich, and now I picked up Tressa. So I'm one shy of a full party. And I'm more or less just working my way kind of counterclockwise. I'm picking up shit, what is his name? The scholar guy. I can't think of his name. Him.
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm picking him up next. Oh, 27! That's a single attack plus 26 follow-up attacks. For reference. That's late game, mind you, but like that's with some new things that you can do in the updated version. But again, that is fucking ridiculous. But it's just like, here's all the follow-up attacks in the fucking world that will obliterate an enemy. Well, every enemy, because they do continue on to other... I think they... no, they don't transfer. It's just one character. But they're really good for bosses. I played the Phantom Strikers Persona 5 demo that's on the Japanese eShop. It feels very distinctly different from Hyrule Warriors. Because you've got your normal combos and stuff, except you have the ability to more or less do a stealth attack by going going to a higher perch and then doing a spin attack on like a lamppost or other different environmental attacks. You have weaknesses you can exploit to more or less do an all-out attack that suctions in more enemies. There's a lot of platforming and like environment navigation, like more so than you would expect. And also it's got the like normal amount of like plot that a Persona game would have, and it's like it looks like a normal Persona game, except it doesn't play like a normal Persona game, and it's really weird. That's good. I think it's like about an hour and a half ish because of all the cutscenes and stuff that I spam through because I don't speak Japanese, so I didn't know what they were saying, and I was just like, skip. I want to get the gameplay. All this stuff I'm sure will be fine. I just want to know how the fuck this plays. Yeah, it's weird. It's just like this has all the normal trappings of Persona game, except it's a Muso style game. Except it's not a normal Muso style game. If you're coming from like something like Hyrule Warriors, because you're not like going and getting forts and stuff, you're more or less navigating a map with Muso style combat. So it's more adventure game. It's weird, but I dig it. Comes out, I think that comes out end of this month in Japan. We're probably having to wait till like summer for this one in America, because Royale's not even out yet. It comes out next month. And this, for reference, Phantom Strikers is officially a sequel. Like it's not meant like a sequel as in if you play Persona 5, here is Persona 5 2. More of a, here is the continuation of the story we had in Persona 5. Whether or not it acknowledges any changes or differences with Royale, I don't know. No one knows yet. There's no sign of the new party member from Royale, so the answer is probably no. So that's not confusing at all. That this is just a continuation of base Persona 5, not Royale Persona 5, even though these were announced at the same time. So yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. I did not close SWTOR. Oops.
Well.
I've played the League of Legends card game, if you remember that.
Oh, how is it?
I like it. It's fun. It's more in tune with like your Hearthstones because of like the mana system. But it's also different because okay, your turn system is like a bit complicated to explain. Well, what you do is you have a token pass back and forth that denotes who gets to attack. And whoever doesn't have that token is on the defense. So whoever has that token gets to play first, and they play a card. And then your opponent gets to play a card, and you more or less get to play cards back and forth until the attacker decides to attack or end their turn. Or, like, you both pass, and that ends the turn, and the token goes to the opposite player. It's like, it's weird, and it's just like, okay, you have to, like, manage which cards you play first. That way you don't, like, leave yourself super open. And then it also, like, when you're building your decks, you have a tier system when it comes to cards. Because you have the champions, which are the people you know from League. And they can like level up if they do a thing, depending on the character. So like Garen, if he smacks something twice or smacks like 2 enemies, he levels up and gets better and gets to do really cool special stuff. And that's the same for every character. So you have those, but then you have like normal cards, normal groups of characters that are just like, here's generic NPCs and generic people from the setting of League of Legends that do stuff, but they don't level up. And you've also got spell cards, and also like the champions also have their own different mechanics and stuff. Like Yasuo is a champion in the game, and he levels up when you like bounce a card back into the player's hand. Because when you do that, he gets to smack it in the face for damage, because all of the cards have health, and if they run out of health, they're destroyed. So if you can bounce the cards like off a player's board back into their hand enough times, they're just done. Because Yasuo will just blow them up.
Oh.
So it's neat. Whoop. Something happened?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's neat. I think I'm going to play it for like next Friday's stream, like pre-show stream. Just to kind of show it off. I might show off the Yasuo tutorial because it kind of like helps explain how all of this stuff kind of interweaves together. But it's cool. I dig it. I think the only thing I don't like is that, oh, my favorite characters are not cards in the game yet. Damn it. There's no Caitlyn, there's no Sivir. It's like, why? Where's my Caitlyn and where's my Sivir? So yeah, I played that. Trying to think. I haven't really played much else besides all of that. I got Genesis watched for the week. For tomorrow. Today.
I don't yet.
Okay, I thought there was a problem with the continuity, except it's not a problem, but then I remembered a thing, and it's just like, wow, they completely forgot about that, didn't they? Because the timing of Krim's death.
Oh.
I thought that was a problem, except it's not. Because Krim died in 1999. Because I had to recheck the information on that, and he died 15 years, like, from 2014. So that puts his death in 1999. And the past in this is in 2005.
But wait a minute. I thought though the show established that he died when the... No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Never mind.
Yeah, no,
No, it
he didn't
didn't.
die. He did not die the night of the global freeze. He
I
died
was thinking
pre-global
that it-
freeze.
I was thinking it was saying that, but no. Now that I remember that, no, that would have been before.
Yep. Yeah, because Chase was active pre-global freeze.
Yep.
Granted, this does not explain why the fuck Chase isn't in the past and why the belt is at the fucking Daikinji temple. Doesn't explain any of that. But at least we know that he's supposed to be in the belt. Also, this movie completely forgot that Tamari and Takaru have already met before the events of this movie.
I mean, to be fair, ghost continuity.
Also, they forgot that Takaru can't be seen while he's transformed.
Now, I just chalked that one up to different writers, because I'm sure that was probably the case.
Well, the Genma can't be seen, but Takaru, he can be seen while he's transformed. And I'm like, wait, that's not how that works. You clearly establish over the course of the entire first part of the show that can't happen.
So, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You know what's even funnier?
What?
I think didn't the same thing happen the first time they saw each other too?
No, I think Takaru was invisible the whole time.
I feel like not.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode tomorrow then.
I feel like they did the exact same thing then. And if that's the
damn it.
case, then maybe that can be wrote off as something to do with the drive belt, question mark?
Also, Spectre is immune to the heavy acceleration, like Mach is, because of his belt, apparently.
New rider. You know how that goes.
I know. I was just like, wait a minute, that's not... Whatever.
The new rider trumps the previous rider's villain regardless of if it makes sense. That's just the thing that I've came to accept.
Yeah. Also, I got to remember the moment where fucking Makoto tells Mach, use the icon to do a ghost change. And I'm like, how? That's not how his belt works. That's not how these things in your hands work, because they're not actual icons. They're Genma icons. They don't work in your... What is happening? Also, the Genma...
You just gotta love moments like that where it's like,
Also, the Genma are apparently the people from the past instead of the Genma using their powers. Which I'm like, that is the complete opposite of the fucking series. That is not even remotely close to a thing in the series at all whatsoever. What the fuck? Where did this come from? Also, I found another continuity flaw at the end of the fight.
okay.
Takaru has too few icons for where it's supposed to be in series. Even if you give them, like, Makoto, give it, like, in this weird period, like, post, like, clock. Like, post the wish, but before he gets boost. He only has 5 icons. He should have 7.
And you know what? That one wouldn't be so bad if they didn't timestamp the movie.
Up. Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah. Because I think they timestamp it for December because they traveled 10 years in the.
Which icons does he have, though?
He uses Billy and Musashi in the movie. I would probably have to pull up the movie itself to remotely attempt to see which icons they are, because bear in mind, I only see like 5 colors in the scene, which could be 2 of them for one of them, because one of them is white, and that could be Beethoven or Benkei. Let me see if the writer wiki has this documented at all. Or at least an image I can look at, and they do not. Of course they don't. Let me look. I'll pull up the scene. Also, I noticed that Tamari does not drop off the driver when he goes through the portal to go back to the future.
So now there's 2 drivers.
Except he doesn't have it. He says he dropped it off in the past, but except he didn't.
It got sucked in a time vortex.
Going off these colors, which are red, blue, teal, brown, and white, I'm guessing Musashi Newton?
Yeah, blue would be Newton.
Billy the Kid, because he used it in the movie. He does not have a teal icon.
No, he doesn't. He never does.
And the white one could be Beethoven or Benkei.
Because isn't the teal one the Tut icon?
Yeah, that's Spectre's, which he doesn't use in the movie, I believe. He only uses Nobunaga.
But... Okay, so say them again.
Red, blue, teal, brown, and white.
Gosh. So they screwed up big time.
I know.
Oh, they did it on 2 different issues there. Because technically then that would put it between 7 and 8. Except for, here's the problem with that. He doesn't have Edison or Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah. I know. Except he has the phone thing.
Meaning that since it's 2 of the early ones, this immediately gets thrown out of continuity because of that.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
Also, it doesn't work if you actually put an image. You have to put the image link.
Well, unfortunately, I clipped that out of my copy of the movie, so there is no link. My bad. I'll just...
Hold on.
Quietly.
Oh, I can't.
Chat.
I can do this, though, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Nope, because of you waiting it.
I'll re-upload it.
Why is it not letting me delete that? Why is it? Okay. That's weird.
That's assuming that's all the icons he has on him. It's ambiguous how many icons he has on him because no one says how many. At all, whatsoever.
But yeah, So that means that actually horribly breaks that, because otherwise all the colors technically could be in his possession right now.
Yes.
But because
Except Tut would not.
Well, he could have Tut.
Yeah.
He could have got Tut from Spectre. I mean,
yeah.
We can say that much.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the fact that he missed literally the second and third icons that he made.
Yeah.
It's like, oops.
There's a reason the wiki gave up and it's like, it's an alternate timeline. We just throw up your hands and
for
fuck
at
it.
least not screwing up and, pulling an icon that doesn't exist at all yet. Because that could have happened.
Just quietly throw Goemon in there, being like, fuck it, it's in there. Just like, oh, fucking hell. Granted, the white one could also be Sanzo, because Sanzo's also white.
Yeah, but it makes more sense that would be Beethoven, actually.
Yes.
Because that would fit within the time frame of it. But the problem then comes into this technically should have took place before like episode 8.
Except Makoto is friendly with Takaru, and that only happens after the wish.
Closer to boost, yeah.
After the wish. So more or less Takaru gets boost only to lose it and then get boost again. Because there's literally no difference between the boost in the movie and the boost in the show. Except they ADR in one word every time. And it is very clear they ADR it in, because it does not sound right. And all of this like weird, dumb nonsense compiles on the fact that we were supposed to get an icon set for this movie that we never got. Because it was in the toy scans for this movie. Or in the toy scans pre-release. There was a 2 icon set, one for Ghost, one for Spectre, presumably, pre-release of movie, but they disappeared by the time the movie came out. Nobody knows what happened to them. It is literally a Gold Scorpion situation from Build, where it's just, boop, they're gone. We don't even know what icons they were. It could have been any number of icons that were in the belt to start with. Which, now that I think about it, I think all 3 of the quote-unquote icons that are in this fucking movie are in the belt. Yeah, they were even as plan to have figures, but nope.
Huh.
And it's not in the unused list unless they threw it into somewhere else. Oh no, there is a Da Vinci icon. But there is not a Raphael or a Michelangelo icon. So whatever that second icon was supposed to be, I don't know. And I don't even know if Da Vinci was supposed to be it. So yeah, anyway, that I guess that's a preview of stuff for tomorrow. Oh, God, this movie. There's also a scene that I'm like, fuck, I need to time this for the notes, don't I? Because this movie stops dead in its fucking tracks for the scene, and I'm just like, I need to time this. I need to. I'm too invested not to time it. to see how long the movie stops dead in its tracks to let these two people ham it up on screen for like what feels like an eternity. But anything else before we move on to news?
I may also post a link, and if I'm right, then we're probably going to be adding this.
Oh boy.
Because I don't honestly how far to trust this, but it's something that we could at least talk about, because some of the things I just spotted, I was like,
is it a rumor for
cool.
Is it a rumor for a Nintendo Direct?
No.
Damn.
It's a rumor for something that'll probably be in a Nintendo Direct. Don't get me wrong there, but no.
No. Granted, I'm kind of chomping at a bit for a Direct. Yes, grumpy butt. Okay, bye. My dog walked in here to ruffle his fur at me and then leave.
That.
Ooh.
And if it's right, that looks kind of cool.
Oh goody, a 4chan leak. Ooh, that's a dice roll and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it's not helping on the credibility, because that thing I was just talking about Sora and Nintendo. Oh look, guess who has an article stating the wrong thing?
I mean,
Thanks, Gamrat.
If it's right, that looks like it'd be some neat concepts in there.
Yeah.
I feel like the title's probably either right or close, though. And the reason I say that is because of the material we've gotten so far. Kind of feels like it's pointing that direction.
Yeah.
So that's a question mark. Like, the big question is, do we add this to the list or no?
Might as well, since we're starting to talk about it. Just throw it up top so we can keep talking about it.
Okay. Transition over to it. Because I've not pulled it on screen yet.
Yeah. So we got some potential news from the 4chan. So, do I have a salt emote? Yeah. Just stall that. Just all that in chat right there. Yeah, bust out your cubes of salt for this one. So we have some gameplay details for Breath of the Wild 2. Maybe, sort of. Who knows? Yeah. And a title, which is Bond of the Triforce.
Which I feel like is probably either dead on or close.
Yeah. So apparently the big stuff to take away from this is that Link and Zelda are both playable in dungeons. You can swap between them freely?
Maybe.
Link's only playable in open world, which... Okay, that just seems odd, but sure.
Well, I mean, that would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of remove some of that overhead of being able to switch on the fly.
Yeah. Zelda is apparently able to harness the power of nature. So I guess she can move shit? Like, move platforms? Like, I guess...
Well... What the article's saying is, like, being able to change the weather. Which, that is a complaint that I know everyone's had with Breath of the Wild, is the weather being, like, somewhat trash at times.
But why would that matter in dungeons? That's never mattered in any dungeon in Breath of the Wild once.
This is Overworld.
Alright.
for the open world. I don't know about in dungeon.
Okay.
But bear in mind, this Zelda seems like she would be able to handle her own. So maybe we would be seeing something, maybe not necessarily full on Link levels, but maybe close there.
Yeah. I was kind of curious if, like, okay, she can control the power of nature, so you're using her to manipulate the dungeons like you do in Breath of the Wild 1? Is what we're getting at?
Huh.
That's my thought process on manipulate, on like use the power of nature, and I'm like, okay, so like she creates like different you can like make platforms for you to cross to get to certain sections. She can like open up air vents for you to glide up to get to stuff. Like, is that what we're getting at here?
Right, that might be. Because it's saying about also having a magic gauge. That was something that wasn't there in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Like that's where my head's going for, like, okay, what does this do? Alright, we got a slingshot and a plow looking weapon in our arsenal. Okay. We can ride a bear. So not the thing from the trailer, but something else we can ride as well. Because I don't think what we saw in the trailer was a bear. Trailer relatively soon. We've got a direct at some point in our near future. Almost guaranteed at this point. It's more just waiting on it.
Yeah, we didn't really have a direct last month, did we?
Nope. We just had the Pokemon stuff.
Which, I mean, I guess Nintendo figures that's close enough. But that seems weird that we didn't have a direct in a January.
Well, we had the Pokemon Direct, or the Pokemon Direct, and then we had the Smash character reveal.
Yeah, but that's Smash character reveal's not really a direct.
Yeah. But that's, we're pointing out, was like, that's two big chunks of information that outside of the, well, Smash wouldn't have been, considering their normal trend with Smash stuff, that it's kind of its own thing that Sakurai just pops up every now and again and goes, here's the new Smash character, let me show it to you and show that I have a background in fighting games. I would assume.
Still almost am feeling like Nintendo's padding hard because more stuff than what we know about has kind of fell through the cracks.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Bayo 3 is off who knows where, which our next article might touch on that. Because it's not just the one thing that is interesting to talk about here.
I mean, we got Bayo 3, Prime 4 is off in the Wild Blue Yonder somewhere doing God only knows what.
Is restart development and is probably still nowhere close to being done.
We've got Breath of the Wild 2 that's just an enigma right now because it's a thing that exists and we know it exists, but we know not much anything else.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it feels like we don't really have anything going.
Yeah.
And then we keep getting rumors like this. Like another one I saw going around about there being, I can't remember if it specifically said a kart racing game or if it just said a racing game for a known Nintendo franchise is supposed to be coming this year. So needless to say, everyone's hopping on, okay, we're getting Mario Kart 9.
I was about to say, why would it not be Mario Kart?
Because F-Zero, question mark?
But that's not a kart racer.
I can't remember if it said kart racer or if it just said racer.
I was about to say, if it's a racing game, F-Zero's in the conversation. If it's a kart racer,
I'm thinking it just said racing, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like we have nothing. Animal Crossing is the biggest thing this year, and it's like,
yeah,
that's not that big. That's not big enough for them to go all out on.
Yeah, especially when it's going head to head with Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
relatively around the same time. And it's also like the first of several big releases over the next like 3 months or so.
It's one of those, it's like, I don't know.
I think the problem is we've reached the point where it's just like, okay, the first like batch of like major stuff from Nintendo's done, and what was supposed to be like the next stuff got delayed, and it's now a reshuffling of the schedule of just like, fuck, what do we do? And it might just end up being a case where Nintendo's just like, we don't really have anything big this year, which might be a good thing considering they're going up against 2 console releases this year.
But you know, what gets me too, though, is they would have granted a smaller one, but they would have an ace up their sleeve.
Yeah.
We knew a good while back that, you know, the Prime Trilogy could have already been announced. So unless they hit development issues with it, which is possible because of Prime 3 being full motion control, that should have been something they could have used to fill in a gap somewhere.
Yeah.
I think too there was rumors about there being 2 more ports coming to the Switch.
Well, about one of those.
And it's one of those, it's like, I don't think it was that one, actually.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to be bigger ones from first party stuff.
What the fuck's left?
That's a good question.
I was about to say,
Like,
the only thing that comes to immediately...
I think 3D World was one that people were looking at, and something else.
What, Star Fox Zero?
No, I think actually Skyward Sword was kind of one of the other favorites that everyone was kind of wanting to, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like we've about tapped the Wii U out, actually.
Skyward Sword wasn't on the Wii U. That was a Wii title.
Yeah.
I'm like...
It's like when we start talking about Wii stuff instead of Wii U, it's like, yeah, I think we might have tapped it out.
Yeah, because for reference, today, Matt McMuscles put out a video for what happened with Devil's Third, which is a game that came out on the Wii U that is published by Nintendo. And more or less the story of it is Nintendo didn't want to publish this game because it was garbage, but they ended up having to publish it because no one else would. And they were forced to. They literally had to shove it out the door and just be like, fucking here, take it. There's a lot more to it. A lot more batshit crazy stuff, but go check that out for the full story. Anyway.
Like, to be fair, if... what I would think would be a pretty good port, in my opinion, would actually be bringing, like, Galaxy and Galaxy 2 up.
Yeah.
Because that would be something that you wouldn't have to change too much. Even though they were Wii titles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, Star Fox Zero would be another good one.
Yeah, as soon as we remove all the fucking gimmick bullshit to it and make it an actual Star Fox game for once.
To be fair, you wouldn't have to do too much more now that I'm thinking about it, though. Because you can switch the TV mode to switch and cockpit view and out of it.
Yeah, like a normal Star Fox game.
It's one of those, if you just, remove the gamepad being needed. That's the big of it. Because
just rip out
all the Switch controllers actually have motion control.
Yeah, just rip out all the gimmick bullshit. Just make it a Star Fox game. Just do that. Stop attaching gimmicks to Star Fox. Please, stop it. It's the worst thing in the world as a Star Fox fan to see is a gimmick attached to Star Fox. Every fucking title. So, shall we talk about one of those magic ports that is happening?
I guess so.
So, y'all remember Wonderful 101, right? From Platinum's library of titles?
Yep.
So, after, I think it's been years that they have been quietly teasing this and being like, hey, y'all want to see Wonderful 101 get ported? It finally is. Platinum has launched a Kickstarter campaign to what seems like not fund the making of the game, because the game is already made for what it seems like, because the release date for this is April of this year. So, like 3 months from now? Or no, 2 months from now is when this is going to come out. So this is not to make the game. This is to publish the game, because Platinum is self-publishing this. Which is why the goal is so low compared to probably other Kickstarter titles.
Well, there's not really a whole lot of work that I'm sure they had to do.
They had to more or less rip out all of the gamepad gimmick stuff, because there's a bit of gamepad gimmick stuff to attach to this game.
But was it enough to where you actually had to do a lot to rework that?
There's a couple segments where you have to rework the camera, because there's segments of the game where you have to look at the gamepad to see what you're doing, because you can't see on screen. There are several segments of those, so you have to rip all those out. You have to more or less pare down the controls to just drawing the various moves with the control stick without the gamepad, because that's a thing you can do. I might play Wonderful One on stream
a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those cases of this has some integration with the gamepad we have to like redesign from the ground up. But yeah, more or less, I am assuming the game is done, and this Kickstarter is for Platinum to self-publish it. Now, here's the extra wrinkle with this announcement. This is actually one of 4 announcements Platinum has at the moment. They have a website called Platinum 4, which, coincidentally enough, is a reference to the Capcom 5, which are 5 Capcom titles that were exclusive to the GameCube back in the day. Would you care to guess which ones those are?
I would not be guessing.
One of them was a Resident Evil title. That was RE4.
Huh.
Yeah, it's RE4, Killer 7, 2 others, and one that never got released. Beautiful Joe and Piano 5. The unreleased title was Dead Phoenix. So they only got 4. Or Piano 3, my bad. So yeah, Platinum technically worked on one of those games, because when they were Clover Studios, they worked on Beautiful Joe. So now Platinum has a website called Platinum 4 that has 4 announcements. The first of which is this Kickstarter. We don't know what the other 3 are. And they all say coming soon.
Probably based on how well this...
Well, here's the thing. We don't know if they're all Kickstarters. Like, we don't know what any of it is.
I'm not necessarily meaning Kickstarters. I'm meaning this might actually, if they bring in so much for this that it benefits them to go on without doing a Kickstarter on something, that might wind up changing some of that plan too.
Sure. Like, for all we know, the last announcement is like Bayonetta 3 and showing like gameplay and a release date. Like I said, all I know is that their Platinum has 4 announcements planned. This is one of them. We have 3 more in our future. But for this Kickstarter of itself, they are porting it to the Switch in Steam and PlayStation 4 now because they've met the goals for that. There will be a new time. What?
They hit all of them?
Yeah.
Dang.
Their goal was about $50,000. They are at almost 1.5 million in like 4 days. This was funded within like 5 hours. People wanted Wonderful 101. There will be a new time attack mode. They've met that goal. They are almost onto a new 2D side-scrolling adventure mode called Luke's First Mission. Luke's a little kid you save in like the first level. That's kind of a reoccurring character. And if they hit 1.75, you get a remix soundtrack featuring a secret special guest. I wonder what Toku alumni they're going to grab, because this game is a super hard, like, nostalgia bomb for anyone who likes Toku. This is literally Super Sentai, the tribute game. In terms of rewards, you can, I think the lowest tier you get a digital copy, and then like one up from there gets you a physical release. And then you can go one more up, and I think you get get one of each. Let's see, you can get a keychain at another tier, a sticker set, which they've also got a social media challenge of sorts that everyone they complete, they add like more stuff to any of the packages, which also for references, all of the merch stuff for all of the pledges are being sold or being shipped separately from the game. So no matter what, no matter how much you pledge, you're getting the game in April, but your merch is coming in November. Partially through the Yeti. Yeah, keychain, stickers, an ID card, the Wonder Pendant, which is the transformation trinket, a t-shirt, a digital comic, a physical comic, a little acrylic diorama, an art book, soundtrack, big soundtrack, vinyl record, some little figures, some custom controllers, a fucking mask and a jacket, fucking pen display. So there's a lot of merch for, like, if you want to go as high as like is that like $200 some odd? Oh no, 2,000. My bad. That's at the you're getting a fucking jacket and a mask tier. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. This makes me want to go back and actually beat Wonderful 101 because I haven't beaten it. I have a copy of the Wii U game. But are you excited for another gem of the Wii U to make its way to Switch?
To be fair, at this point, we might as well just port the whole Wii U library over and see what happens, because I'm sure everything would sell better.
Well, I know one game they can't happen because Monolith has said that's not going to happen. And that's Chronicle X. But in exchange, you're getting a remake of Chronicles 1, so Anywho, Okay, we talked about this a lot the other day on stream. So there's probably not too much more we can say on this, but Home fucking got announced and
Pokemon Wallet.
Yep.
That's what I literally put in there for it.
I mean, at least it's cheaper than the other thing we're going to talk about.
Which other thing? I'd have to put that down.
The thing that's literally right after this.
Okay.
So for about $3 a month, or $5 for 3 months, or $16 for 12, you'll be able to transfer all of your Pokemon from Pokemon Bank to Sword and Shield as long as they're compatible. And you get a bunch of boxes, and you get a Wonder Trade box, and you get multiple GTS slots because the GTS is back and it's part of Pokemon Home. And you can do some room trades and stuff. And this is honestly, I don't feel like it's really worth it until all of the DLC comes out. So you're getting the most bang for your buck on the transfers, because otherwise you've more or less just got a 3D version of Pokemon Bank, and that's really it. Because there's nothing else fancy here. I was hoping Home would be fancy and like it would give you like the 3D models for the Pokemon, and you get to do like the Pokemon and Me stuff with your Pokemon.
Because that
and
would
like
be smart.
And maybe like send them out on like quests and stuff for them to like get levels or do anything. But no, it's just Bank with fancier looking menus and stuff. And it's just like, okay, what the fuck are we actually paying for?
You're paying for Pokemon storage.
But I mean, like, what more are we paying for in reality? Like, where is the extra cost going? Because I don't see it.
Maybe that'll change when it comes out.
Yeah, because this is dated for sometime this month. Maybe the end of the month. Who knows? Also, yeah, you do have to pay, even though you're getting a free month of Pokemon Bank. You do have to pay for Pokemon Home, meaning you're paying like $20 in reality to at least get everything to Home first. So yeah, that exists. But you know what's better?
The next thing?
Yes, a subscription to a mobile game. So in a recent Faye Channel Direct, it was announced that Fire Emblem Heroes now has the ability to subscribe to it for $10 a month. And for that subscription service, you get 2 what they call Resplendent Heroes, which are more or less, here are costumes for characters that you probably already own that also give you stat boosts for that character. And they are also limited time, and they change every month.
Because that's the smart thing to do.
Yep. You also get exclusive quests. You get more summoner support slots, which means you get bonus stats on a character of your choosing. You get to replay a turn. And you can autoplay maps that you've already completed in certain modes. So, 2 very big quality of life changes that people have been asking for. Pay them.
Yep, paywall.
Paywall. Hard paywall. And this is also in the same direct where they announced the new Choose Your Legend hero winners, which all 4 of them are Fire Emblem Three Houses characters.
Because
it's more or less... What's hilarious is that it's the 3 house leaders and then Lycidia from Golden Deer. Not the 3 house leaders in Biolith. No. The 3 house leaders in Lysithia. Although, looking at the top 20, the main character from Tokyo Mirage Sessions made it 20th on the men's poll, which I find hilarious. Because they just put in like 4 of the characters from Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. But yeah, this started a trend on Twitter because someone made a Twitter account that said, here's a bunch of things that are cheaper than a year's worth of Fire Emblem, or the Fire Emblem Pass. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are cheaper than Fire Emblem Pass for a year. For reference, it's about $120.
Including a year of Xbox Live Gold.
Yes. A fucking year for Switch Online is cheaper than this. Actually, no, a year of Switch Online plus a year of Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Home are probably cheaper than Fire Emblem Pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are not happy about this. I'm not particularly happy about it either, because it's like, oh, I was enjoying Fire Emblem because it came back for the Tokyo Mirage Session stuff, and oh look, you made me angry. It's like, why can't mobile games be fun? Why can't I just play a game and get the stuff I want? Why do I have to do all this other bullshit, including fucking like pay $5 million to get what I want? Why can't I just play a game and earn it the old-fashioned way?
Because they have to make their money somehow.
Fucking Fire Emblem Heroes is the most lucrative mobile game in Nintendo's like banner at the moment. It makes more money than every other mobile game Nintendo has combined.
Yeah, but they have to make it make more money.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have to make it make more money, because then they don't have to worry about making more mobile games.
Yeah. So yeah, there's me being salty about mobile games. Speaking of being salty about mobile games, though, one more time. Last time on the podcast, I brought up how fucking Kingdom Hearts Twitter decided to hold a campaign for people to guess what the name of the fucking Kingdom Hearts mobile game is going to be. Which at the time was Project Xehanort, because you know when you need to put your the motivations of your main bad guy in a mobile game spinoff.
I mean,
yeah.
At least if you do that and it goes over badly, you can say, oh, well, that's not canon anyhow.
Yeah, so we officially have a title for it. It's called Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. That is the tamest fucking title for a spinoff in this fucking franchise I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, it's missing quite a few words, ain't it?
It is.
And a few numbers.
Not only is it tame, it makes sense on first viewing.
Yeah.
This is not how Kingdom Hearts is normally titled.
No.
We were talking about a franchise with subtitles for its spin-offs called 358 by 2 Days, Recoded, Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep. If you're asking what those titles mean, I'm not going to explain it because I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that is, like, not a Kingdom Hearts game name kind of deal.
Yeah. So yeah, this also, to reiterate it again, this is one of multiple Kingdom Hearts titles that are apparently in development at the moment. Something more substantial, I think, is apparently on the way. I don't fucking care anymore. I am so tired of this franchise. Just throwing everything everywhere and making you do fucking homework to get its plot and its characters. I'm fucking done. I like your concepts. I like some of your characters. I wish some were treated better. As you'll find out, as I continue to be grumpy about playing Kingdom Hearts 3 for like however long it takes me to get through it and Remind. The story part of Remind, I ain't going through fucking data fights for the fucking cutscene. Fuck that, I don't care.
But you won't get the full experience.
I got the full experience. I've seen the fucking cutscene. I know what's at the end of all 14 of those fights. And I don't give a fuck. I quite literally do not care about Nomura and his goddamn obsession with fucking Versus 13 and needing to do it. Even if he has to force it in the Kingdom Hearts. I don't care. It has to be an actual fucking video game before I can even remotely give a shit. Literally that has to happen first. Otherwise, I don't care. I got better shit to do. Unfortunately, speaking of Square, we have a new Final Fantasy VII trailer. So this trailer for
autoplay because of GameSpot.
Yeah. So the trailer more or less goes, okay, so you know the maybe not the most what's the word for it? Of the current time material that's in 7, it's here, but maybe it's more tasteful this time. More or less, Crossroads and Cloud is here, so all of that stuff is here, presumably. Better done, with maybe not the bad overtones or undertones in it. All of our bad guys are here from the first part of the game. We apparently might have the party being seeing, or actually seeing Sephiroth when they're not supposed to in the original game.
Huh.
And also, there's a boss fight with Genova that doesn't exist in the original game. That's towards the end of the trailer. So that's a new fight we're dealing with. So we're once more seeing that they are playing with the formula for Final Fantasy VII, which I can't wait for them to do something so off the rails that everyone gets mad about it. In 5 years, because this is only like fucking Midgard, and that's it. So how you feel about the new 7 trailer?
Doesn't really help that I have no feelings for 7, so...
Same here. I'm on the outside looking in for all of this. Every single bit of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all the news we got this week. But we sure do have a lot of releases.
We have all the releases, don't we?
Yeah. So pardon me as I take a drink first. Okay. Ooh, alright, we're gonna kick things off on the 10th. We have Help Me Doctor for Switch. And on the 11th, we have AO Tennis 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Dead Cells, The Bad Seed for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions for PlayStation 4. Mantis Burn Racing for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Metro Exodus Sam's Story for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Monster Jam Steel Titans for Switch. Project Starship for PlayStation 4. Reed Remastered for PlayStation 4 and Vita, The Unicorn Princess for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, the Yakuza Remaster Collection, which I assume also includes the releases of Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 5 Remaster for PlayStation 4, Thief Town for Switch, and Under Hero for PlayStation 4. On the 12th, we have Outbreak Epidemic for Xbox One and Super Mega Space Blaster Special Turbo. What the fuck is that word salad of a fucking video game title? What is this?
But
it's coming out for the Xbox One. On the 13th, we have Azure Lane Crossway for PlayStation 4, Darksiders Genesis for Xbox One, Fire Emblem Three Houses Side Story, Sindred's Shadows for Switch. I still don't know if I'm streaming that because I don't know when I have access to it in the game, because they still haven't said when. But they did give us like 4 classes you can get with the DLC, so there's that. Anywho, we got Florence for Switch, Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions for Switch, Cloudblend Sword for Switch, Rise of Insanity for Switch, Super Loop Drive for Switch, and Under Hero for Switch. And on the 14th, we have Darksiders Genesis for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Dreams, finally! God damn it, how did I miss a date?
That's not the only one I missed.
Mother... I do Control F for these dates, but some of them just don't take. But finally, coming out of beta, Dreams for PlayStation 4, Forgotten Land for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Glass Masquerade 2 Illusions for Xbox One, Kitty Maestro for Switch, Reed Remaster for Switch, Saboteur 2, Avenging Angel for PlayStation 4, Sephirothic Stories for PlayStation 4, Snake World, The Dungeon Crawl Gold for Switch, Spaceland for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Speedway Racing for Switch, Street Fighter V Championship Edition, or Champion Edition for PlayStation 4, The Incredible Adventures of Super Panda for Switch, Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, and Under Hero for Xbox One. And on the 18th, Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Bundle Launch Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, DCL The Game for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Hunt Showdown for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, fucking Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue for Xbox One. There's another example of dumb fucking Kingdom Hearts titles. And finally, we have Psycho Shooting Stars Bravo for Switch. On the 19th, we have 3000th Duel for Switch and Bunny Parking for Xbox One. And on the 20th, we have Blood Will Be Spilled for Switch, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition for Switch, Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Geo Rifters for Switch, Lines XL for Switch, Sega Ages Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Switch, and Sega Ages Puyo Puyo 2 for Switch. And under 9th, In Birth EX Late Clear for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Why does that have stupid titles as well? It looks like a cool fighting game, but its titles are dumb. On the 21st, we have Ailment for Xbox One, Brief Battles for Switch, Seal Pledge, a Daughter Raising Simulator for Switch, Dragon for PlayStation 4 and for Xbox One. I missed that one. Oops. King Lucas for Switch, Tower of Babel, No Mercy for Switch. And finally, on the 22nd, Fire Pro Wrestling Takoyama Charity Part 2 for PlayStation 4. We're getting there. Nah. Yeah, but we're getting there.
You've had more.
Yeah. Which brings us to Quick Draws and mine. Hopefully, as long as I did it right, since it's been a while since I blinked anything from Google Drive. Yes, it worked right. So this past weekend, my dad built the risers I was wanting for the cubbies that I have all my Soto stuff in. And I've done my black hole custom, which doesn't look spectacularly good, but it works for the first time doing anything like this. It's good enough. And also I got AI-05 in, which was Shining Assault Hopper, Assault Wolf, Phantom build, and Metal build. Technically, the build you see on display is the Rabbit Rabbit build because they give you the faceplate to do Rabbit Rabbit hazard build. So yeah, I figured, hey, here's all my Soto stuff with the little puck lights I got to give a little light for the cubbies. So I got my double O's, Xaid, build, and 0-1 stuff. So slowly chipping away at the Soto stuff I want that is currently out. The next AI set only has Bowser that I want, so that's an Amazon Japan get at some point in my future. Or Monorake, whichever one I end up getting. Or whichever one I go to. But yeah, the funny thing is this Hazard body, it's a new body. Because the Hazard they did for proper build split in half like all of the other build forms did. But this is like a proper armor. So they gave you like a normal rabbit tank Hazard head, the metal build like tank black head that has stickered eyes, except there's no difference if it's not stickered. And then a rabbit head because fuck it, it was on screen for like 12 seconds, might as well. And then you have that same body with the Phantom build armor from the Grease V Cinema, which, yeah, that's the Grease. Or that's Grease Perfect Kingdom. So yeah, that's pretty much my quick draw. That's the only thing I got. So Tommy, what is yours?
Well, mine is shoutouts to the Pokemon Challenge thing that has a working team builder.
Ooh. You were telling me about this last night.
As you can see, I've got the team logo. I do have it set up to where you would have to make your own page, which you and me, that's not a problem. We already have ours.
Yeah.
But literally any Pokemon out of the 890 is in that. So, and basically you can just come up and pick a random one, and there you go. It shows it in the game. It will only save it if you set up the page. So, case in point, if I was to log in, I'd be able to save it. Otherwise, I've only got the load button. Something else I didn't mention to you, but I did put it in the changelog. I added a reset button. Because, you know, that was the thing that I realized when we got finished. It's like, I didn't put a reset button. Oops. Eventually, I want to set this up to where I'm actually utilizing it to where you tell it, like, only do Pokemon found in certain games, and it'll block out the others, so to say. I've got to figure out how to make that work, because the way that I've got it set up right now, the way I've got it set up right now, there's a certain formula to get the proper image, and if I change that, then I'm gonna have to figure out how I can modify to make it work. But that's one of those. That'll be next project.
I have to clear the cookies for this, don't I?
Couldn't have to.
Well, I kind of have a black screen.
Oh, I didn't put the ending. Because remember, to actually access the page.
Okay.
You got to use that kind of format at the end of it.
Yeah.
I
Weirdly
guess at that point I do need to add something on the page.
Well, for some reason, Internet Explorer is fine, just loading up that URL and giving you a normal looking page.
But Firefox, it's goofing up?
Firefox in Chrome.
That's weird.
I know.
I actually tested Chrome. That's weird.
As I said, it might just be a cookie issue.
Might be then.
I was about to say, oh right, I don't have Opera installed. Right, that's something I didn't install on my computer. Hang on, let me check browser number 4. So I guess if I ever am able to get the DLC, you'll probably see this because I'll probably have my current team displayed on this. Because that's what I was wanting to do for Sword and Shield itself, but I couldn't find one in time.
Yeah, and I hadn't even thought of doing time, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, looking at that, I do kind of like the way it turned out.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw in some random Pokemon.
There is technically a way that I could probably make just a team builder, but I think this way works smoother. Because the way that the way I could do it would be setting it up to where it actually saves like the data on whoever's computer's actually using it. Whereas this way, you could set up your team and I could still load it. Because it's all, as long as you hit the save button.
Yeah.
And same with me. To you kind of deal. The only foreseeable issue I know of if we go to streaming, we wouldn't necessarily be able to do that unless we each captured the team window too.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because even if you hit save, it will not update on mine until I hit load again. Because, case in point, if you haven't done anything, I can sit here and mash and load like I am right now, and it's not going to pull anything. Because you haven't hit save on yours.
I was about to say, where's the save button?
You gotta put the passcode in.
Oh.
It won't show without it. That way people can't just drive by and randomly put teams in.
Thought I put in the passcode.
But yeah. Like I just showed off on my. And yes, you can have a full team of one Pokemon if you so wanted to. Because each frame for it functions as its own. So yeah, if you legitimately in the game have a full team of one Pokemon, yeah, they'll do that.
A little small, but it fits the block right there.
Which one?
Oh, I was testing it how it looked on the overlay.
Oh.
It fits right in the slot where I usually have iTunes.
Ah. Well, that
Not gonna make it small. Make it small enough, but like, it looks fine. Some sprites might look a little smaller than the others.
Yeah, and I think that's just nature of the Star-based sprites.
Yeah, I love the mix of the sun and moon and the sword and shield sprites, because you can clearly tell which is which.
Yeah. And bear in mind, I'm not making the sprites. I am using what Cerbay has. Mainly because one thing I noticed, I think I can actually show this, is you look over here at how it pulls the image up, actually pulls it up by the national dex number. So essentially what each of these drop down lists are is literally a list of every Pokemon. It took a while.
I can imagine. Some of the shit I had to do in school, I can imagine how much worse it can be, programming wise.
Luckily, I figured out a way where I only had to put all the Pokemon names in once and make code to where it pulled that and could do it for each of the 6. But yeah, still putting 890 names in once is a pain.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's typos, oops. That's one of those at me on Discord and I'll fix it kind of deal. Because I don't think there is, but there might be. That is one of those, I am not going back through trying to check everything. That's just not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's that part of it anyhow. The other part, I don't actually have a... But on Saturday, I will be doing a Daggerhood run for a speedrun marathon called Insta Speedathon.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't actually know if I can share that right now. I just thought about that. That's not been finalized yet.
Ah, shit.
Well, yeah, I can. It's in where anyone can see it, so I can put that. Okay. There's a link to the schedule, the articles list, as I proceed to push the releases farther down the page. I just realized I did that.
Google Drive does not have page break, does it?
I don't think it does. Or if it does, it doesn't work properly.
No, it does.
I don't think it works properly.
Yeah, fucking course it doesn't.
I mean, you could try it, but I don't think it works properly.
Wait a minute, someone is speedrunning the PSP Ratchet and Clank game? Excuse me?
Yes.
Wow, that's like only me and like 5 other Ratchet and Clank fans probably like know about that and/or have beaten it. Yes, I've beaten that Ratchet and Clank game too.
I didn't even have that on the screen. But it is in the articles list now. But yeah, I'll be doing that at... I'm not even going to say the time because, you know, everyone's on different time zones. It'll be Saturday morning-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually closer to noon for you, so yeah.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a shorter run that I have, but still I'm kind of shouting out to the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if that Size Matter runs has as much dumb stuff as other Ratchet and Clank runs as I've found out to have. I'm just like, yeah, we can fling ourselves across the map because physics says we can, so we can.
I mean, it probably does.
Yeah, because it is more or less just a Ratchet and Clank game on PSP. Like, there's nothing else there. Just like, hey, this is a PS, like, because the PSP was a fairly decent system for the most part. It just wasn't supported well, or at all most of the time. Well, I had one fun thing pop up in the Soda Pop Discord due to translation dumb.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone Google Translate stuff when it comes to the blog posts, and sometimes things just don't work right because Google Translate.
Yes.
So, would you care to guess what Tatoba combo got translated to?
What?
Well, one time it can be translated to Tattle combo. But if you expand that out into the Takatora Bata, that gets translated to Data Theft Bus. Why? Hell if I know. I had to correct Frozen Stratos on the release date of the mini plot for Kira Major because he said it was May, and I was looking at the product page for Bandai and it said April because it did 2024, which I know means April of this year without translating it. So I had to go to Bandai's Candy Toy calendar, pull up the calendar page for it, throw that to him on Discord, and tell him, no, it comes out in April. You want to know why he thought it came out in May?
Why?
Because Google Translate said it came out in May. It translated released in April 2022, garbled nonsense released in May. And I'm like, that's not right. I could have told you pre-translation it was coming out in April. So I don't know why he translated it to see when the release date comes out, but whatever. So yeah, I had to correct him on that. Which was one of those, please stop relying on Google Translate for everything. It's good for a laugh. It is not good for accurate information. Please stop.
It's good for two things. One to make really funny ROM hacks.
Yes.
And two, to get very, very vague ideas of what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah, because I found out you can Google Translate stuff visually on your phone with the Google Translate app.
Yeah, I found that out today when I got a new phone, and I'm like, oh god, this is so horrible.
I've had to try to use that to figure out stuff on like the Super Sentai mobile game I play of just like, what the fuck does this challenge say? And it's just garbled nonsense because it does not take not normal text very well, let alone tries to translate that text even if it was normally correctly. So it's like, ugh. So yeah, I am quietly working to help with the Soda Pop Discord on releases and stuff because I was the first one to actually dump the links for the mini plot or for the Kira Major stuff, and I was the first one to notice, oh shit, there's a Yudo set already announced for Kira Major. They just didn't talk about it because it was quietly in a picture. And it had a product page. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't have noticed it. But anyway, tomorrow, not only do we get to continue to talk about Superhero Tyson Genesis, or movie Tyson Genesis. Why did I call it superhero Tyson Genesis? It's not that bad.
No, it is far better.
Yeah, it's far better than that. We are gonna do a little bit of a old business by not recapping the last 2 episodes from last week, but at least talking about them since we didn't get a chance to do that last week.
Yeah, I wouldn't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally didn't have to cut. I totally didn't have to cut down 3 hours of footage to about an hour.
Was it only 3?
Yeah, it was only 3.
Okay.
It was like 3 and change, and I sliced it to an hour.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll talk about that because yeah, we have things to talk about there that are going to be relevant for the rest of the show in our viewing of it. So yeah, we got to talk about it because I found out a thing I didn't know about with Ghost, and yeah, it certainly changes my opinion of the show going forward a little bit.
Oh boy.
But outside of that, we got the usual stuff for the next week. More Ace Attorney as we maybe wrap up Case 4 for Ace Attorney 2. I'm not sure if we'll wrap it up, but we'll probably come close. I think we're on the last investigation segment, and then I think it's the rest of it is trial segment. So depending on how long that takes, we might wrap up Ace Attorney 2 this week. And maybe I'll take a week break, stream some Wonderful 101 just to show people how that game is, and then go back to Ace Attorney 3. Thursdays, Kingdom Hearts 3, still, as I grumble and groan the entire way.
Friday will be as we kind of transition back to like what we were doing, just not with Pokemon.
Yeah, I gave you several suggestions. I don't know if you've tested out any of them.
I might need to put them in Discord, that way I can reference back, because I think I forgot some of them.
Well, one of them is actually like what TRG is doing at the moment.
I haven't.
Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Tim's not playing Luigi's Mansion, so he's playing through it.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm listing this last one since we're not doing Pokemon, but
I mean, you can. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the one we do next. It could just be one later down the road.
Yeah. Well, it's the weird, not mainline, but kind of mainline Pokemon game. And that middle one, which is Custom Robo, I don't know if I've only played like a demo of it once. God knows how long ago. I don't even know how long that game is, or if how beatable it is for us going in super blind. I was about to say that's 3 suggestions. They're all GameCube games, so should be easily streamable, assuming compatibility is okay.
Yeah, that would be the question.
Yeah.
Also, Custom Robo, like around an 8 hours, so that'd be 4 to 5 weeks roughly.
I didn't think it'd be that long. I figured it'd be shorter.
I say roughly. Doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's bear in mind too, the speed run is barely under 2 hours according to how long to beat. So
but yeah, that's the Friday plans at the moment. Saturday is something. And then next week we're back to regular Ghost episodes. Yay! We get back into it with Goemon and Houdini and Necrom's 2 debut episodes. And then not long after that, I think we were stuck with no Necrom for like several weeks. Because we have to show the compatibility of the Necron icon into the Spectre or into the Ghost Driver, which means several weeks of no Necrom. And back to Ghost versus Spectre. I remember that's like way too long in there for some reason. But anyway, if you like what you've seen, drop us a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that follower goal. At TG Saloon on Twitter will get you the Twitter and get you updates on when we go live. And ! Discord and chat gets you the Discord link. Drop by, say hi, drop us questions in the Dropbox. We'll answer them here or on the other podcast, wherever it's more relevant. But that'll do it for me and for Tommy. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.